From the local station, News 4 Jax starts now.
News 4 Jax asking questions about a decision against prosecuting this police officer, Timothy James, who was charged with beating this handcuffed teenage suspect. The teen's attorney is outraged.
It shows a weakness on crime, which is horrifying, and a protection of bad officers, which will only give them more entitlement to push the limits.
The state attorney's office reveals the reason why it does not want to put Officer James on trial. Prosecutors say they believe if they pursued their case against this Jacksonville police officer, they would lose. Officer James will not face criminal charges in court.
Instead, as part of a deal, he resigned from the sheriff's office and agreed not to work as a police officer in Duval, Clay, or Nassau counties for the next 3 years. He is free, however, to work in law enforcement elsewhere. The teen, Elias Campos, was pulled over for disturbing the peace. Then officers discovered he was wanted on an outstanding warrant from Orlando. News 4 Jax reporter Jim Piggott just spoke with Sheriff Mike Williams about this case, and he's joining us live from police headquarters downtown. Jim.
Well, the sheriff is saying that in this case, he believes that it really shows that it is working. That's because the officer is off the street. Now, I did try talking to the state attorney today, Melissa Nelson, but she's out of town. Others are saying that this shows if officers commit crime, well, they don't have to worry about prosecution.
The surveillance video catches some of what happened when Officer Timothy James was arresting and beating 17-year-old Elias Campos. The state attorney, in its deposition statement, doesn't believe it would be enough evidence to convict James in this case, even though they were going to get testimony from a police sergeant who witnessed the event and testimony from 2 other teens who were there.
When you have somebody like Tim James, who's been involved in so many incidents, posting about kicking the butts of people he encounters back to 2016, and he gets off like this, it sends a message to the cops that take chances, to the quote-unquote bad cops, that it's going to be okay. The judicial system is going to take care of us, and that's a big problem.
I asked Sheriff Williams today about that, if this really is the case.
That it just shows that police officers who get in trouble have a way to skirt the law.
Yeah, I don't think this is the case. I mean, at all. I think you got a guy that clearly we arrested, immediately upon learning of the incident.
But there were warning signs before. James has been investigated by Internal Affairs 11 times, and in 7 cases found the complaints were valid, which includes use of excessive force and even bragging about it. As part of his deal, James can't work as a police officer in Duval, Clay, or Nassau counties for 3 years, but he can work in other areas.
There's an expression called gypsy cops for people just like this, where they leave the door open for them to go to other jurisdictions and continue the same bad behavior, and we've got to figure out how to regulate that.
Sheriff Williams says there is a way to do that. A state commission with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement will have the ultimate say if James can be a cop again.
I don't see, an officer with that type of record being a hot commodity in the job market, to be honest with you.
Today we were also looking at the status of other police officers who have been arrested by JSO. Since 2015, 26 employees here at JSO have been arrested. Of that, 10 have had the charges dropped. And then we kind of looked at how much time had been served. Most have served time just on probation, but there was one person who served 2 days in jail. That's at least there are other cases pending. We're live from the Sheriff's Department. Jim Piggott, Channel 4, the local station.
Thank you, Jim. And for more information on those statistics Jim mentioned involving arrests of JSO employees, head to news4jax.com and look